to play the maintain game. You know that game. How do you stay where you want to be? How do you stay where you want to be? Wow, that's a hard one, but it isn't as hard as it sounds. Maintenance is part of shining up your rainbow. It's just like taking your inventory, just like making a plan, just like getting off that plateau. And here's one secret. Just keep doing what you did. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? But listen to these tapes, and you'll hear how to make every day count and win the maintain game. Maintenance. Maintenance is, and then we'll talk about that, but maintenance is staying within 5 pounds, 10 pounds, I don't know. For each of you, it may be different.
Maintenance is harder than getting there.
Oh, no, that's not a definition. What, to me, tell me what you think maintenance is, and start with maintenance is.
Maintenance is consistency with the plan you've set for yourself. It's not easy because it can get really boring, and I have to remind myself this past from Halloween to Christmas was one of the more difficult times, and I just, your body fools you. You stop doing your little things for just a short period of time, and your body stays the way it was, and you think, oh, this is cool. It works. And I came to exercise less, and I had more treats than I usually do, and got on the scale and just about had a heart attack. So, about like 8 pounds later, it took me several false starts and then ultimately about 6 weeks to get it off, which was being really austere. And that was a real rude awakening for me, because I kept it off really stringently for about more than a year and a half with ease at the time.
How much did you lose?
Altogether, 30.
30. What about now? Are you maintaining now?
Yeah, because it means coming to class. I have to do something at least 5 times a week, whether it's being here or walking or doing something, and watching what I eat and counting. I have to write it down. If I don't write it down, my head plays tricks. No matter how good I am at this, I can fool myself even better.
For maintenance, though, how do you go from losing the weight and knowing that that's a good weight for you, and then figuring out how to eat and how to exercise to stay maintained?
Okay, that's really interesting, because I can't lose if I'm thinking I have to lose weight. What I have to do is I have to have a mindset, I'm eating to be healthy, and this is the way I eat when I want to maintain. And if I do that, the pounds come off. I just have to behave as if I'm where I need to be at any given day, but just eat a proper food plan.
Now, what if you're on maintenance and you've lost your 30 pounds, you're trying to keep it off? Whether it's 40 pounds or 100 pounds, it's the same thing. It's maintenance. And there is a day that comes along that, well, his name is Chuck, and he's 6'2", and he's blonde hair and blue eyes, and he's holding a big chocolate bar. And you get off the maintenance. What do you do to yourself?
Well, the mistake I made is when I wanted the Three Musketeers, I should have just had it, and I would have been done with it. Instead, I sort of made do, little here or there. Eventually I went and got it, but
so you
that
had
was about
9
8 pounds
Musketeers,
later.
is what you're trying to say.
More than that.
Someone says, have you had the 3 Musketeers? I said, no, but I've had the 14. Is there any difference at all?
Should have just done it and be done with it, and not beat up on myself. Or just take. If you need a treat, you have to have a treat. It's okay.
So let me. What would be someone, and they're just so excited. They just reached their goal. They just got into the right size dress. They're just so thrilled. What would you say to them?
It's not time for celebration.
Wow!
Now you're just beginning.
Now you know what? Maintenance may just be right. Now you're just beginning. Because to maintain that, we're not just talking about maintaining the eating part or the exercise part. You said something earlier, and that is mental, emotional part, because you beat yourself up if you gain weight. If you gain 8 pounds.
Well, what really gets me, it's not so much the pounds on the scale, it's the jeans don't fit. And I have to
You know,
remind...
if the jeans don't fit,
Nothing.
don't wear them.
Well, that I won't buy a bigger pair, and it's like, it's, you know, I have to remind myself nothing tastes as good as I feel when I'm wearing my jeans.
I'm going to have to call Calvin Klein because that was just too pretty. Thank you very much. Who has reached their goal and is maintaining?
Maintenance is reaching what you would consider to be a goal, whether it's health-wise or a pound-wise goal, and trying to stay in that realm there.
You mentioned a couple different kinds of goals. How do you stay? You've kept 50 pounds off. I mean,
Over 50 pounds.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'll try it again. How much have you kept off, Judy?
I've kept over 55 pounds off.
Okay. All right. 55. Ooh,
For 16 years now.
For 16 years. Well, that's very good. I have a picture of Judy. Actually, one of the. I do. I have a file on Judy Penley. Judy, you've worked with me now how long?
It's 11 and a half years.
11 and a half years, and I still have her a file. And I have the picture of her before picture, and she's standing on a mountain. Looks like she's going to throw herself off, but she's standing on a mountain, and it's a windy day, and all of her hair's on one side, and you've kept it off. Mm-hmm. And so, like, how do you play the maintain game?
It is consistency. Consistency, I think, is a key word. You have to be consistent with your food program, and you have to be consistent with your exercise program. The two of them work hand in hand. And I find, too, to help, you know, with the food program, you have to weigh your food. You have to measure your food, because your eyes soon make portions go larger, and you have to keep a check on that. You have to make sure that you're at least once a week weighing and measuring the amounts of food that you're going to be eating, your portions.
Did you ever go off this maintenance? Did you ever?
Yes, several times. Usually it happens around the holidays, but there was one year, I had put about 10, 12 pounds back on, and I was eating right and exercising right, and I was being very consistent, and I just wasn't feeling right. It turned out that I had hypothyroidism. When that was regulated, then the weight started to come off again, and now I have no excuses other than overeating.
So your excuse cards are up. So
they are up, and I've had some very difficult times in the past few months, as you've known, but I've managed somehow, by the grace of God, to keep it in check.
The truth of the matter is that emotional maintenance. Let me talk about that for a minute, because that is a key, and we've touched upon it. What is emotional maintenance to you?
It is being very positive about myself, no matter what happens in my life. Keeping an even keel. It's having a good outlook, because it is very easy to beat yourself up and play old tapes around in your head that says you're a terrible person, you overate, you had 3 cookies, God forbid, instead of 1, you are such a pig. It is easy to get those tapes going, and if you let yourself slip into that, it's very easy to see that weight come back on, the numbers on the scale go back up. It's not good for you, it's not healthy, so you have to talk to yourself all the time, positive self-talk, because when you truly love and respect yourself, then you are going to be helping yourself so much, not only emotionally, but mentally and spiritually as well.
Emotional maintenance, did that click to anybody?
Emotional maintenance to me is maintaining your self-esteem regardless of your weight.
And you have emotional maintenance.
I do have emotional maintenance. It came out of a lot of hard work. That to me was much harder. Years ago, I had lost 120 pounds and kept it off for 9 years. And during that time, became so caught up in the weight loss and that being who I was, that I developed bulimia. Because if I went up a pound, I freaked out. So, and at that point, my whole self-esteem was about, this is Mary who's lost 120 pounds. That was all I was. So I went through a lot of hard work to get past the bulimia and to really shift what mattered to me about me.
But go back to the emotional maintenance. How do you keep, even though you may not see numbers fall in that area and may not be at your maintained goal weight-wise, how does one keep the mental going at all times, no matter of the numbers? How does that happen?
Well, I don't freak out because of my weight anymore, because I believe that my weight is just one piece of who I am. It's just one thing. I don't think anybody in here is better or worse than anybody else in here based on your weight at all. Some of you have lost over 100 pounds. I am really, truly thrilled for you. Some of you have not lost anything. I have gained most of my weight back. I am truly thrilled that I can stand here and say that without bursting into tears or trying to crawl under a chair and hide an embarrassment. Because I really, really believe that the weight is just one other part of who you are. And if you feel good about yourself in other ways, then, you know, hopefully we'll all keep working on our weight. And that as we work through different parts of our lives, also care enough about our bodies to recognize how important that is to maintain a good weight.
Carol, maintenance. Say maintenance is, and give me your definition.
Maintenance for me is maintaining a weight where I feel most self-confident. I'm not afraid of new challenges. I'll approach new situations without being frightened. I have a number on a scale, and really, within 20 pounds, I'm tall, I can carry anything off. But there's a special number on the scale, and when I reach that number, I notice my self-esteem dips. And it's not because I really look that much different, I just don't feel as comfortable in my own body. So whenever I reach that number, I know I dig down deep. Now, what do I have to do? So I go back to my old routine, increase my exercise a little more, cut down the nighttime eating a little more, the old tricks that help take those couple pounds off, and then magically the self-confidence comes back again.
You have lost how much now?
112 pounds.
112 pounds. But more importantly, you have kept that off for?
Almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years now. Oh, we've got to interrupt because it's time to turn the tape over now.
All right, it'll be in the next part, so stay tuned for it.